Daniel Craig talks about why he almost stopped playing James Bond after Spectre, which came out in 2015. No Time to Die, Craig's fifth and last movie as an MI6 agent, has already opened in the UK.
Welcome to the world premiere of the 25th Bond movie, No Time to Die.
But it hasn't come out in the US yet. The movie from director Cary Joji Fukunaga has mostly good reviews from critics so far, and it looks like Craig's last Bond movie will be full of action and make you feel things. In No Time to Die, Bond, who has been out of the military for a while, is called back into action to fight a bioterrorist named Safin, who has a dangerous new technology.
Unwilling to kill the person you love most.
I've already lost everyone I've ever loved.
Sam Mendes, who directed both Skyfall and the less well-received Spectre, won't be back to direct the new movie. Instead, Fukunaga will be the first American to direct an Eon Productions Bond movie. Craig joked that he'd rather cut his wrists than do another Bond movie after Spectre, but he eventually agreed to do one more to send the character off on a high note. At the same time, it wasn't clear why Craig was so sure he wouldn't be in another Bond movie. But in a recent article from USA Today, he explains why he felt that way. He says that it was clear to him after Spectre that he was too old for the role. After giving his all to the physicality of the character in his first movie, Casino Royale, and the movies that followed, he had to rethink his commitment to these physically demanding movies after getting hurt on the set of Spectre. Craig also says that the time he spent away from his family was hurting him.
It's everything, I think, it's been close to 16 years of my life, and it's been incredible.
I have always tried to tell the truth about how I feel. When I started doing Bond, I put my whole body into it and tried to be as real as I could. I thought that was very important because I wanted Bond to be like that. I wanted people to think those stunts were done by me. But after Spectre, I really thought I couldn't do that anymore. I thought, what's the point? Also, I'll be gone from home for at least a year. And that makes things hard for everyone. When I call my wife and say, "Hi, I got injured, I'm going to the hospital," it's not a great call. I felt like I couldn't do it any longer. During the Spectre press tour, Craig's comment about cutting his wrists caused quite a stir.
My ankle.
I mean, you do.
And the joke was like literally walking down a plank. I mean, wasn't even running, wasn't even doing anything action-based. I just walked down, slipped, and fell over. It was so stupid.
However, it seems like he said it because he wants his version of the character to be the best and most physical it can be. After all, he got more than just cuts and bruises on the set. Craig hurt his knee early on in the making of Spectre. He had to finish the movie while wearing a knee brace, which had to be edited out later. Craig would later hurt his ankle while filming No Time to Die, which shows how much he cared about the role. Many people think that Daniel Craig is one of the best Bonds, if not the best. It seems that his dedication to the physical side of the role has paid off. It's not clear where No Time to Die will fit in the long history of the franchise, but Craig has already given fans two of the best and most memorable Bond movies ever with Casino Royale and Skyfall. If the early reviews are any indication, it looks like No Time to Die is a good way for the character to go out, and many people will be glad that Craig didn't just give up after Spectre. Daniel Craig's time as James Bond comes to an end with the end of No Time to Die. However, the movie also looks to the future of 007 and debunks a major theory about what Bond 26 could be like. Even though the last few minutes of the movie are very exciting, the usual promise that James Bond will return is made at the end of No Time to Die, which is not surprising. Ralph Fiennes' character M says it so tragically. Right, back to work. Before there's even time to mourn. The ending of No Time to Die is sure to make you cry. Even without the big secret that ends Craig's time as Bond, it would have been hard to see the 15-year veteran of the role hang up his License to Kill and Walther PPK.
15 years to try and unpick all of the great memories, but that really is it for me.
But the decision to do something that had never been done before and kill James Bond at the end of a situation that gave him a bright future and then took it away from him was even more shocking. Craig has done more for Bond as a character and as a progressive idea than any other 007 actor. So it's fair to say that Bond's eras are now pre-Craig and post-Craig. But James Bond is immortal, or at least he will be as long as his box office receipts and merchandise concerns are profitable for his rights holders. After the huge delays to No Time to Die's release, it's time to start a new chapter with whoever will play the next James Bond. Even though people want a big change, which was helped by Lashana Lynch's great new 007 Nomi in No Time to Die. The last shot of Craig's fifth and last Bond movie makes it clear that we probably won't get a female Bond. The fact that the message says James Bond will return and not 007 will return is a strong statement, especially since Lynch's new 007 is such a big part of the story. At least for now, that seems to be the end of that hope. As No Time to Die was getting ready to come out, Daniel Craig joined the debate about a female Bond. He said that it would be much better to give strong, similar roles to female actors than to change James Bond. The answer is probably somewhere in between, and No Time to Die shows that James Bond and female 007s can work well together on screen. Maybe it's time to stop focusing so much on the seed at the center of MI6's cinematic universe and start letting it grow around Bond. The fact that Daniel Craig's almost revisionist Bond paved the way for modern filmmaking styles and storytelling conventions, and got rid of some staples of 007 film history, like serial-like episodes, shows that the future doesn't have to be more of the same. It's a shame that Lashana Lynch's 007 seems to have been cut off just as she was getting started. And it's also a shame that Ana de Armas's Paloma won't get her own spin-off. But the need to start over with Bond after No Time to Die probably makes it impossible for both of these things to happen. And even though some people have asked for Bond to be recast as a woman, the Jane Bond question, it doesn't look like that's going to happen soon either. The king is dead, but may he live forever. Craig is the first of the 6 Bond actors to get a proper send-off, which may be for the best. The character should be put to rest so that the franchise can keep going with different actors playing completely different characters under the 007 codename. Craig's Bond changed the series by giving it thrilling action that got rid of the idea that Bond was a franchise for older people. Replacing Craig after No Time to Die is a very hard job that no one will ever be happy with. Instead, making 007 movies that don't focus on Bond can give the franchise a new lease on life and give other characters a chance to shine without having to make another James Bond movie right away.